Iran's elite, much like their Western counterparts, have a penchant for luxury living. Being the second largest economy in the Middle East, right after Saudi Arabia, even Porsche can't resist getting its share from the Iranian market. From luxury cars and sprawling estates that rival ancient palaces, to cutting-edge technology and art collections that many museums would envy, these magnates are spending large on everything. And with figures like Farhad Moshiri, who orchestrates his empire from a base in Monaco, Nasser Khalili, whose name is synonymous with one of the world's most significant private art collections, and the Ghermezian family, known for their colossal mall developments that dwarf many towns, Iranian billionaires know how to spend their money. So if you've ever been curious about the lives of the wealthy elites in Iran, then grab a snack because you're about to be astonished by their extravagant and flamboyant way of life. So without further ado, let's get started. Life as a member of the wealthy elite in Iran is more exhilarating than many realize. But thanks to platforms like Instagram, these individuals can flaunt their extravagant lifestyles for the world to see. Profiles such as the rich kids of Tehran offer outsiders a glimpse into their lavish lives. And in their world of extravagance, money is hardly a concern for these wealthy elites, thanks to the rich oil reserves in their country. You see, back in 2016, Iran produced 5.1% of the world's crude oil, generating an impressive 25 to 30 billion US dollars in revenue. Although it now produces just 1% of the world's oil, it's still the seventh largest oil producer in the world, producing about 4.3 million barrels a day. Iran now rakes in about 34 billion from oil exports, which accounts for about 12% of OPEC's total income. This immense wealth not only powers the local economy, but has also placed Iran on the global map as a significant player in the oil market. The country's oil riches account for about 9.5% of the world's total reserves, a figure that underscores Iran's critical role in the global energy dynamics. Iran's extraordinary wealth is deeply rooted in its vast reserves of crude oil, a pivotal element that has sculpted not just its economy but also a distinguished class of billionaires and millionaires. Since the early 20th century, when the first successful oil well was drilled in the southwestern part of the country, Iran has been a significant player in the global oil market. This black gold has been the cornerstone of wealth for the elites, establishing a formidable nexus of power and prosperity. The discovery of oil brought with it an era of unprecedented wealth accumulation. By the mid-20th century, as global demand for oil surged, Iran's geopolitical and economic status skyrocketed. The nationalization of its oil industry in the 1950s marked a significant turn, asserting control over its reserves and ensuring that a substantial share of the oil profits remained within the country. This era not only amplified Iran's influence in the world oil market, but also paved the way for a new social class that leveraged this burgeoning wealth to secure their economic dominance. This newly minted elite class expanded their reach by investing in a variety of sectors. Oil revenue fueled investments in large-scale industries like automotive manufacturing, construction, and later on telecommunications and financial services. The automotive sector has been a particularly lucrative arena for Iran's affluent. Leveraging the country's significant oil reserves, these magnates have invested heavily in both the production and importation of vehicles, which have ties to influential Iranian families dominate the domestic market. These conglomerates not only cater to the internal demand for vehicles, but have also expanded their reach to international markets, exporting cars to countries in the Middle East and even Eastern Europe. The automotive industry's expansion has been supported by the government's protectionist policies, which limit imports and promote local manufacturers, thus ensuring that the wealth generated remains within the hands of a few elite families. In the construction center, the wealthy classes capitalized on Iran's urban expansion and infrastructure development. Large-scale construction projects, including residential complexes, commercial properties, and even entire townships, have been spearheaded by companies owned by the ultra-wealthy. These projects often receive preferential treatment in terms of government contracts and land acquisitions, illustrating the deep interconnectedness between the political and economic elite. The petrochemical industry, a natural offshoot of the oil business, is another significant investment for Iran's wealthiest. This sector has flourished under the shadow of international sanctions as it relies less on foreign technology and more on domestic capabilities and raw materials. The petrochemical sector's output, ranging from fertilizers to polymers, not only meets domestic needs, but is also a major export commodity, further lining the pockets of the magnates who have invested in these chemical enterprises. The infusion of oil money transformed these sectors into the bedrock of Iran's modern economy, creating a feedback loop that further enriched those at the top of the economic hierarchy. This wealth wasn't merely reflected in their expansive business empires, but also mirrored in their lifestyles, marked by sprawling estates, private jets, and a penchant for luxury that became synonymous with their status. Now, buying a vehicle in Iran is considerably pricier compared to other parts of the world, but the Iranian elites are importing these luxury cars from the United Arab Emirates like they're getting them for free. The markup on these cars is around 30%, catering to their affluent clientele. Thus, a car with a $100,000 price tag will cost an extra $30,000 in Iran. But do these wealthy elites bat an eyelash at the hefty price tags? Not at all. They're even outfitting them with the fanciest and most advanced technology. Car dealers in Iran say that their wealthy customers hardly flinch at the expensive price tags. Their sole concern is acquiring the latest car models to expand their burgeoning automobile collections. Once the car's in their possession, they spare no expense in customizing it to their preferences. Take, for instance, Alireza Soltani, an Iranian entrepreneur in Tehran's Grand Bazaar. He recently acquired a nearly pristine brown Porsche Panamera, initially priced at $123,000. However, after factoring in additional licenses, customs, clearances, taxes, and customizations, Soltani's expenses ballooned to $320,000. And in an interview with Tehran Bureau, Soltani said a top-notch car not only boosts your self-assurance but also commands respect and attention, particularly in social circles and with the opposite sex. Before 2009, Porsches and Maseratis were rarely spotted on the streets. Fast forward to today, both brands have established corporate footholds and luxury automobiles have become a common sight in the city. The lifting of Western sanctions notably fueled a surge in luxury car imports, skyrocketing from $830 million in 2011 to a staggering $3.6 billion in 2023. With an educated and surging elite class and a GDP of more than $400 billion, it should come as little surprise that Porsche has reportedly been interested in returning to Iran or increasing their physical and digital presence there. Now, after spending money on their luxury rides, the wealthy elites of this Persian Gulf country often spend their leisure time with friends, typically headed to the ARG Commercial Complex, one of the capital's most popular malls. Here they encounter some of the world's top designer brands like Robert Cavalli, Versace, and various luxury car dealerships. Despite strict religious rules mandating modest dress for women in public, many affluent individuals still splurge on the latest, trendiest designs. They effortlessly acquire pieces from Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Balenciaga, and Prada, seamlessly combining them with the traditional head cover, the hijab. The country has a large, young, and wealthy population which desires luxury goods, and this has seen a small number of brands, including Versace and Cavalli, expanding their networks to include outposts in Tehran. Interestingly, with major brands like Dolce & Gabbana now offering luxury versions of the hijab, Iranian women can swap their regular head coverings for these designer renditions. Their wealthy kids, accustomed to having their desires fulfilled, readily spend thousands of dollars on a single shopping spree. After a lavish shopping spree, the wealthy elites can't wait to flaunt their designer goods and shopping bags on social media. Following this indulgence, they refuel by heading out to lunch, opting only for the most expensive cuisine available. Luckily, the ARG Mall also houses one of the fanciest and priciest restaurants, where they can feast on traditional dishes like pomegranate walnut stew and rice with dill and fava beans. Gold-flecked ice cream wasn't part of the picture that Shiite Muslim clerics painted during the Iranian Revolution when they promised to lift the poor by distributing the country's vast oil income equally across society. However, Iran's rich eat ice cream literally covered in gold as the poor struggle to survive. The revolving restaurant at the top of the Milad Tower in Tehran aspired to be a beacon of bling, offering gold-topped ice cream desserts in its rooftop restaurant, a delicacy costing hundreds of dollars per sweet serving. Of course, until the mayor of Tehran had it yanked from the menu. While they could dine out every day of the week, nothing compares to a home-cooked meal in their extravagant mansions. At home, most of these wealthy elites have a personal chef who's always in the kitchen working on the sumptuous spread. Taking a dip in their pools is a favorite pastime for these wealthy elites, and we're not talking about just any pools. They're Olympic-sized, the kind you could lounge by all day. Depending on the materials used, these pools can cost upwards of $50,000 or more. They live it up, floating on inflatables, sipping fancy drinks, and lounging in their super expensive bathing suits. Even their pets enjoy the lap of luxury, as we've seen them riding with their exotic cats in their cars. For Iranians, the possession of luxury goods and property serves as a status symbol, signaling their elevated social standing and elite status within Iranian society. This is why extravagant living, fueled by oil wealth, is predominantly displayed through the acquisition of luxurious properties and residences. These Iranians spare no expense when it comes to purchasing prestigious real estate, with lavish mansions and penthouses serving as symbols of their affluence and influence. These properties often feature extravagant amenities such as private pools, home theaters, and expensive gardens, offering a lifestyle of unparalleled comfort and indulgence. For instance, individuals like Farhad Moshiri, who's made substantial wealth through various investments, own properties in Tehran's most affluent areas and are nestled in secluded spots offering breathtaking views and utmost privacy. His residences, like many others in this elite circle, feature indoor swimming pools, home theaters, and expansive art galleries, housing rare collections. The cost of maintaining such homes runs into the millions of dollars annually, further cementing his status as a wealthy elite. In addition to luxurious residences, oil wealth has also facilitated luxurious experiences and indulgences. Parties are a norm in Iran, and this is where the wealthy come to socialize with like-minded individuals and enjoy the finer things in life. From private yachts and jets to extravagant vacations and leisure activities, oil wealth affords Iran's elite class access to a world of luxury and privilege that is beyond the reach of the average citizen. And then comes the lifestyle shown by their kids. The Iranian elite know how to live a luxurious life, but their kids take it to a whole new level. These wealthy kids have everything handed to them on a silver platter. And in 2014, Iran's Ministry of Culture even banned the Rich Kids of Tehran's social media account due to snapshots depicting wealthy kids engaging in activities that violated the country's religious laws, such as drinking alcohol and partying in nightclubs. However, the account has since been revived, continuing to showcase the lavish lifestyle of these affluent youth. The account owner expressed their desire to counteract the negative portrayal of the Middle East by highlighting the beauty of their country through images of wealthy individuals enjoying their extravagant lifestyles. When they come of age, one of their first indulgences is acquiring a fast and flashy car. While many of us may never afford our dream cars, these affluent youngsters are cruising in $200,000 vehicles by the age of 16, courtesy of their parents' willingness to splurge. Their parents spare no expense in ensuring their children's happiness, even if it means spending more than what most homes cost on a single car. The sight of Bugatti and Ferraris gracing their social media feeds is commonplace, leaving the rest of us to merely daydream about such a lifestyle. In Tehran, their wealthy kids understand that the flashier the car, the better. They engage in friendly competition, each vying to outdo the other with the most extravagant ride their parents' wealth can afford. These rich kids aren't just driving in luxury within Iran. They're also jetting off to the most exotic destinations around the world. While the rest of us endure airport queues and economy seat discomfort, these elites have a completely different experience. They travel in private jets, summon helicopter pilots to whisk them away wherever they please, and indulge in skiing trips, exotic beach vacations, and stays at five-star hotels worldwide. The freedom to travel spontaneously is a luxury they embrace wholeheartedly. Their homes are beyond anything we've ever seen. Calling them mansions is an understatement. These rich kids reside in residences that could easily warrant their own zip code. With thousands of square feet at their disposal, many of these houses resemble palaces both inside and out. Now, if you thought Beverly Hills was luxurious, let me tell you, there's more than one prestigious location in the world, and these wealthy elites are certainly putting Iran on the map. Technically, they don't even need to leave their homes if they don't want to. They have everything they could possibly need right there within their own private estates. For these affluent youth, every day feels like a weekend, a celebration of life's luxuries. Sustaining their lavish lifestyles is a breeze for these wealthy elites. Whenever they splurge, their parents are quick to replenish their accounts, ensuring their happiness remains uninterrupted. One thing you might share with the rich kids of Iran is their fondness for jewelry, but they're not settling for costume trinkets. They're investing thousands of dollars in eye-catching necklaces, bracelets, and luxurious timepieces. On their wrist, you'll often find watches from esteemed brands like Audemars Piguet and Rolex. While a new Rolex can range from $7,000 to $10,000, the flashier diamond-encrusted models can exceed a whopping $75,000. Such sums surpass the yearly earnings of many, but do these wealthy elites bat an eye? Not a chance. And it's not just their jewelry that sparkles with gold and diamonds. These affluent youth are also customizing all their electronics, but can we really blame them? With their family's net worth in the millions or even billions, these kids spare no expense when it comes to acquiring the most expensive gadgets. Their cell phones are adorned with the most dazzling diamonds you've ever seen. While we can't be certain of the price tag, you can be assured that these wealthy kids of Iran aren't concerned with the price tag. They probably don't even inquire about the cost before handing over their wad of cash. Strolling the streets of Iran, it wouldn't be surprising to encounter more than a few wealthy youth flaunting these pricey phones. And when they're not busy chatting on their luxurious devices, they're likely brainstorming ways to spend even more money. They don't think twice about extravagance. For them, money is simply poured down the drain without a care. These kids remain insulated from the harsh realities faced by many Iranians, where poverty remains a significant issue. The minimum monthly salary for the working class is a mere $170 US. However, for the wealthy, many have invested in the real estate market, watching their net worth skyrocket into the millions. On the other hand, wealthy Iranians with their substantial resources and global connections extend their influence and indulge in luxury beyond national borders, participating in international markets and investing in prestigious properties and luxury brands around the world. These individuals leverage their wealth and connections to establish a presence on the global stage, expanding their portfolios and indulging their desires for opulence and extravagance in some of the world's most coveted destinations. Back in 2016, this elite class of individuals even saved the London luxury property market after the sanctions, viewing investments in London as a safe bet. Following the 2016 lifting of oil and financial sanctions by the United Nations, and with it the release of roughly $100 billion of its assets after international inspectors concluded that the country had followed through on promises to dismantle large sections of its nuclear program, Iran was flush with cash, ready for investment. Iranian tycoon Kamal Zargar even made headlines for his acquisition of luxury properties in London's upscale Mayfair district, including a multi-million-dollar mansion and a portfolio of high-end apartments. Zargar's investments in London's luxury property market underscored the global reach and influence of wealthy Iranians seeking to diversify their assets and establish a presence in international real estate markets. From luxury condominiums and penthouses in global financial hubs such as New York and London, to private islands and estates in exotic locales like the Caribbean and French Riviera, affluent Iranians spare no expense when it comes to acquiring prestigious properties overseas that offer unparalleled comfort, privacy, and exclusivity. Today, with access to sophisticated financial instruments and investment vehicles, affluent Iranians diversify their portfolios and capitalize on opportunities for growth and wealth accumulation in global markets. From high-profile acquisitions of companies and assets to strategic investments in emerging markets and sectors, wealthy Iranians leverage their financial acumen and global networks to expand their wealth beyond national borders. Iranian businessman Farhad Azima has even made significant investments in the aviation industry, acquiring stakes in airlines such as Boeing and aircraft leasing companies around the world. So what are your thoughts on the opulent lives of Iran's wealthy elite? Are you impressed by their ventures into international markets? Share your opinions in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more captivating content like this.